Salut la famille, ici c'est votre garçon Abouzi. Aujourd'hui, on va faire une réaction plutôt sur YouTube. Donc, soyez prêts, allons-y, regardez, faites quelques réactions sur YouTube. Voyons, qu'est-ce qu'on va réacter aujourd'hui? Imra. Stabis, I spend almost 1 million on date. 1 million. J'ai dépensé plus de 1 million dans une soirée avec une meuf. Moi je suis fou, bien dépenser 1 million de dollars dans une soirée juste pour faire plaisir à une femme. Non. Il y a une vidéo que j'ai vue la fois passée. C'était ce matin. La vidéo est très intéressante. Allons-y voir. The most dangerous place in the world. C'est un endroit où si tu fais 1 heure dehors, mon frère, 1 heure dehors, tu peux mourir. Je vous assure. Il fait très froid là-bas. Où est la vidéo même? Il fait très le gars même qui a fait vidéo là, il est très courageux. Parce qu'il respire et puis le nez même veut se former, veut devenir glace. Voilà, c'est la vidéo comme ça.
A frozen wolf. If you don't move, you freeze. Imagine a village where
si tu restes une seule minute, sans bouger, tu deviens de la glace, tu formes. Tu vas rester comme ça. Si tu fais 1 seule minute sans bouger, tu vas rester comme un statue.
where temperatures drop as low as minus 71.2 degrees Celsius. Here, spending just a few extra minutes outside can lead to frostbite, the loss of a limb, or even end of life.
Is it frostbite?
Oh, yeah.
After staying outside for just over 15 minutes, my nose turned white. Ice crystals began forming inside the cells, and the tissue started to die. If I had stayed out 5 minutes longer, my nose would have suffered permanent tissue damage.
When people breathed outdoors, it would sound like dry grass rustling behind them. That was the sound of warm breath turning into tiny ice crystals.
I'm in the coldest inhabited place on Earth, at the coldest time of the year. This is Onyekan. Just to stay alive, I'm wearing more than 20
Non, comptez les pantalons avec moi. Pantalons que les gars portent là. Je crois que ça vaut 20.
layers of clothing, weighing nearly 14 kilos. Stepping outside from a warm 30 degrees Celsius home means facing a temperature drop of over 100 degrees. That's why I'm also wearing gloves, boots, pants, and a coat, all made from reindeer fur. And even
Ouais, la température là-bas, ça baisse jusqu'à 96 degrés Celsius.
that's not enough. And now, I'm about to show you what life is like when simply going outside becomes a battle for survival.
Excellent.
Within seconds outside, ice crystals start forming on the eyelashes, and the skin starts to sting. The village feels like it's been abandoned.
The cold burned my finger.
The cold doesn't just affect people and wild animals. It stops everything from functioning. Phones don't work properly and often shut down. Cars left outside freeze in just a few hours. Since the ground is always frozen, no fruits or vegetables can grow here. We boarded a plane in Moscow, flying east for 7 hours to Yakutsk. From there, we covered an 18-hour, 900-kilometer road trip. It's 2 a.m. and we finally arrived at the coldest village in the world. The thermometer reads minus 60.5 degrees Celsius. When we stepped out of the car, It's 2 a.m. and we finally arrived at the coldest village in the world. The thermometer reads
moins 76 degrés Celsius. Putain!
minus 60.5 degrees Celsius. When we stepped out of the car, it felt like we were on another planet. The hairs in our nose were frozen, and we felt them prick with every breath. The dry air makes us cough uncontrollably. Oymyakon is home to around 800 people, spread across 1.5 square kilometers. Seeing anyone else outside is almost impossible, as if time itself has frozen in this place.
It's really cold here.
Ce grand village-là, ça ne vaut même pas 1000 personnes qui est là-bas. Parce que les villages, c'est un lieu qui est très dangereux à vivre. Donc c'est 800 personnes seulement qui vivent dans ce grand village. Vous imaginez un peu.
Walking for about 15 minutes. As you see, my friend's eyelashes are full of ice. You can see another ice droplet on his upper lip.
Regardez ça. Même le nez même commence à se former. Non, ce village est vraiment dangereux. Sans mentir.
Oymyakon, our land surrounded by mountains. It gets brutally cold here. The temperature drops to minus 63 degrees Celsius or even minus 64 degrees Celsius. Because Oymyakon is located in a basin, there's hardly any wind. The cold just settles in and stays.
In this region, the ground stays frozen all year round. This layer of frozen earth is called permafrost, and it can reach hundreds of meters deep. To survive the cold, the villagers built a central heating system. A single coal-powered boiler sends heat to most homes through pipes. The system must run non-stop. Even a short failure puts everyone at risk. The interiors of the houses differ from traditional village homes. Heating pipes connected to the central boiler run through the rooms to keep the houses warm. To build
Vous voyez ça? Ils ont construit des fours dans le village, donc qui dégagent la chaleur pour aider la population qui se trouve dans ce village. Parce que si eux ne construisent pas des fours, personne ne pourra vivre là-bas. Ça serait une catastrophe. Et puis de la manière dont eux construisent la maison là-bas, c'est très très différent. Parce que, attendez, vous allez voir. Attendez.
survive the cold, the villagers built a central heating system. A single coal-powered boiler sends heat to most homes through pipes. The system must run non-stop. Even a short failure puts everyone at risk. The interiors of the houses differ from traditional village homes. Heating pipes connected to the central boiler run through the rooms to keep the houses warm. To build on the frozen ground, thick wooden beams are first laid down to create a flat base. Then, the main logs go on top. A 30-centimeter thick subfloor is added, followed by insulation, and finally, the finishing floor. Each wall is made of
Ça, c'est comment ils construisent les maisons là-bas. Regardez seulement le mur.
7-layered materials. There's wood on the outside, then basalt wool as the main insulation barrier, then plaster, mesh, foam insulation, another layer of plaster, and finally, a wooden panel inside. The windows are triple glazed, forming a vital barrier against the bone-chilling temperatures, and the attic is insulated with sawdust and soil. Combined with a stove or heating system, this setup keeps the residents warm. In nearly every building,
to buy any kind of car from North America to West Africa. AuctionExport.com. Register.
the entrance room is intentionally left unheated.
We freeze everything in the front room.
Look at this refrigerator, natural.
Here, I have frozen milk and frozen meat that I store in the cold.
As you can see, these
les habitants n'ont pas besoin de frigo. Non. Tu achètes la viande seulement, tu viens déposer dehors seulement, c'est bon.
First two rooms at the entrance used for storage and as a refrigerator.
These unheated rooms also serve as a buffer against the freezing cold.
You can see ice and snow covering the interior of the room, especially the ceiling.
In Oymyakon, the day begins early. Yevdokia is already at the barn. Cattle farmers here wrap a cloth around the cow's udder to protect the sensitive tissue from frostbite and to keep it clean.
The udder isn't at risk of freezing anymore, but once the milk starts flowing, we have to be careful.
Because of the extreme cold in
Ouais, donc ils ont couvert les seins des comment on appelle ça même, c'est seins ou bien c'est quoi, les seins des animaux là. Parce que si le lait commence à tomber un peu, et ça va, les seins de l'animal va être formé. Donc l'animal court à un grand risque. L'animal peut perdre sa vie. Donc les éleveurs couvrent les seins des animaux. Est-ce que vous comprenez? Voilà.
In Oymyakon, no water pipes run to the buildings. They would freeze almost instantly. The cows must step out into the cold every morning and make their way to the river to drink. One by one, they step into an icy hell, moving quickly, knowing they must return before the cold becomes too harsh. Their hair became crusted with ice almost immediately.
This part of the river is not frozen because it is coming fresh from the mountain. Underground spring water meets the river and keeps this part of the river unfrozen.
Then all of a sudden, my whole face went numb. I couldn't move the muscle on the left side, like I was having facial paralysis. When my nose started freezing, Yevdokia noticed right away.
Regardez le nez. Le nez commence à former. Putain, le gars il est foutu. Il est foutu, mon frère.
Is it frostbite?
Yeah.
The cold shrinks the blood vessels and eventually reduces blood circulation. Without enough warmth, water inside each cell freezes into ice crystals, causing the cells to rupture and triggering a stabbing pain and tissue to die.
You should cover your face like this. Why? While covering your face. Be careful, or it might turn black.
From this point on, until the end of the documentary shoot, I won't be able to stay outside for more than 10 minutes at a time, or my already frostbitten nose could get even worse. But as the documentary progresses, and the temperatures drop even further, we'll be pushing our limits to show you what survival here truly demands.
Here is the cure. This is aloe and just alcohol. You soak it like this, and apply it to the area that's frozen. And don't rub it, okay? Otherwise, you'll damage the vessels in the capillaries, and it'll lead to sores.
Then Yevdokia began her daily chores by hanging freshly washed clothes in the yard. Within just minutes, they completely froze solid.
Her clothes are completely frozen.
Regardez,
My hands are freezing.
Si tu laves un habit, tu déposes dehors là, ça forme. Il est où là?
After that, she headed into the barn to milk the cows.
I keep Yakut cows because they produce really high quality milk. The fat content can reach 7 to 8%.
As you can see, there are some ice and snow covering the ceiling, but here is warm. The sides are also covered in snow. You can see some droplets from the ceiling. That is because of the humidity.
The air is thick with the smell of hay, warm milk, and livestock.
Now we are going to meet a horse master.
We're about to see the wild Yakutian horses in their natural habitat.
Mikhail,
Ruhi.
here are the Yakut horses. The conditions here are so harsh that only they have been able to adapt.
What is the temperature today?
It's somewhere around minus 50 degrees Celsius here. It's also hard to be outside for a long time. We have a system of fences in the open air.
Les chevaux sont coucou. Les chevaux sont comme des moutons.
Area, they mostly graze freely.
These Yakutian horses don't need heated shelters, as they can endure minus 70 degrees Celsius outdoors day and night. Unlike regular horses, they are short. This also helps them to stay outside during winters because short body means it can radiate heat to a smaller area. Their body looks very puffy, very rich in fat and round. This is because of their thick fur. And also their horseshoes are very tall, allowing them to stand on this freezing ground very long time. They're not captured, they're just being fed here. Their body means food. This is horse meat. They eat it here. As you can see, it got a lot of fat. This is one packet, a packet of a horse meat. This was ordered and it's going to be sold to a customer. This large pile of hay has been stored since summer. It's the main food supply for the horses during winter. Mikhail offered us a taste of his horse's meat and liver, which is only eaten raw and frozen in this region. Raw horse meat.
It's full of vitamins and good stuff. Since we don't have fruit or vegetables here, we get our vitamins from meat.
It tastes like ice. I can't feel the taste of it because it is frozen.
This is the liver.
In Oymyakon, daylight lasts only about 4.5 hours in January. It's 3 p.m. now. As darkness falls, we're calling it a day. Before cars, animals like horses, cattle, and of course reindeer were used for transportation. Reindeers are very important in this region, not just for transportation, but also for its meat, skin, and also milk.
Yo, les gars, sans mentir, ce genre de tourisme, personnellement, moi je ne veux pas le faire parce que ce genre de place, c'est très... Parce que nous ici en Afrique, on vit dans la chaleur. Même si tu vas partir faire visite à des pays où il neige, c'est pas ici que tu vas faire ton tourisme. Ça m'a dit.
About half a kilometer beyond the village center, frozen forest of Oymyakon begin. In this village, most people herd animals for a living, but for those like Ivan, hunting becomes the main source of income.
I am a man of the forest. These lands are my hunting grounds, and here is my tent, my home.
He's making fire now. We need this fire because it is too cold here.
We must walk on the path. The ice underneath is thin.
We made our way to the frozen river to check the fishing net he had set the day before. Ivan warned our cameraman just in time. He was about to step onto a cracked patch of ice. One wrong step could cause him to fall into the water.
Oh, hey!
And get wet.
In the winter, when it was just as cold, my dad was out riding his horse in the woods. He fell through the ice and started freezing right away. Realizing that there was no warm shelter nearby and no chance of rescue, he made the decision to shoot himself to avoid a slow, painful death.
Oh, some weather special ones. It's already frozen.
Our gear was already struggling to work in this temperature, and now this frozen lens is useless, and we'll have
Même le caméra est devenu informé. Putain, on est où là?
to give up on it. To get the net, he's removing the ice from the hole using a small shovel. The fish remained alive for only a few seconds after touching the freezing air.
Water was warm, but now on the surface, this fish is shocked.
Donc si j'attrape le poisson là, ils n'ont pas besoin de mettre ce poisson là dans le frigo. Il faut déposer ce poisson là seulement dehors. Parce que tout le village même est frigorifié.
Completely frozen.
To make it easier to cut, he's warming the frozen fish by rubbing it with his hands. He's carefully slicing it into thin pieces.
Frozen and raw wild fish. When it's frozen, you feel like you're just eating an ice.
You should eat with salt. Fish are loaded with vitamins in the winter.
Inside the tent, it's warm, but as you see, the other part is completely frozen.
He's feeding the fire.
not share some of the fish to nature?
O Spirit of nature, accept our gift. Bless us with a successful hunt and grace us with the abundance of your land.
According to his shamanic belief, he must keep the spirit of the hunt satisfied, or next time, he might come up empty. We're heading into the wilderness. Yvonne wants to hunt something big. Looks like something's been through here. There are footprints and little patches of urine left behind.
Yeah.
Look, roe deer tracks.
We're getting close.
Because I stayed out in the cold for more than 10 minutes, I've started to feel numbness in my nose again. I have to be more careful.
I don't feel my nostrils. Okay.
From that side, it ran towards the forest. That's where I'll set the trap.
He hopes to catch a large animal. The hunter knows the animal follows the same path every day, so he's placing the trap along his daily route. He's covering the trap with snow. He's using a dog's tail to remove the traces smoothly. We'll return to this spot later to see what he catches. But first, Yvonne wants to check the trap he set yesterday. He scans the snowy landscape carefully.
Everything here is like a book to me. When the snow falls, I track how many animals there are by their footprints. I already know how many animals live in this area.
Regardez comment le vieux est. Le vieux, c'est quelqu'un qui s'est habitué, donc il ne ressent plus rien. Est-ce que vous voyez?
Saka are a Turkic people who migrated from Central Asia, and I'm from Turkey, a country whose roots all...
Lui c'est un chercheur. Il cherche les animaux. C'est le chercheur du village. Donc, c'est ça son travail.
Also trace back to the same region. Before we continue with the documentary, I'd like to thank the sponsor of this project and explore how closely I'm connected to these people.
I received this at-home DNA testing kit from this project sponsor, MyHeritage, to discover my real ethnicity. It's super easy to use. The kit comes with a swab. All I have to do is rub it inside my cheek for about a minute, then I'm placing it in a vial, snapping it at the black line, I'm packing everything up and sending it to return address. In about 4 weeks, my results will be ready online and I can't wait to learn my roots. Finally, the day has come. I got an email from MyHeritage. Let's see what my DNA says. To be perfectly honest with you, I have no idea what to expect. 47.3% Greek and Albanian. It's almost half. I always knew that my grandma was from...
Yeah. Regardez cette publicité là, c'est test, je crois que c'est une test ADN. Donc si tu fais le test ADN, on te montre là où tu viens, la planète dont si tu viens du continent d'où tu viens, si tu viens de l'Afrique, si tu viens de l'Amérique, si tu viens d'Asie, si tu viens d'Europe. Moi je trouve que ça c'est de conneries ça.
From Albania, and now I have no doubt. Then there is 40.5% Turkish and 4.7% South Italy. My roots stretch all the way to Central Asia. It is 3.4%. This is where Turkic people originally come from. Then there are more slices of other ethnicities. MyHeritage can even pinpoint the exact locations my Turkish ancestors came from. When I click here, I can see my DNA matches. Here is someone who shares 4% of my DNA. I don't recognize this person, but he is listed as my parents' first cousin. I also have second and third cousins here, actually more than 1,600 DNA relatives. Finding out all this was so amazing. Huge thanks to MyHeritage for sponsoring this video. If you want to discover your own ethnicity, make sure to click the link in the description box or scan the QR code. Use the code RUHI29 to get your DNA kit for just $29, euros or pounds. That's a huge 67% discount, the lowest price ever offered. The DNA kits can be shipped worldwide except Turkey, Brazil and France. However, everyone can still build and track their own family tree using MyHeritage's family tree feature, which comes with a 14-day free trial. MyHeritage matches your family tree with 34 billion records and millions of family trees to find new discoveries for you. Let's get back to the video now.
There it is, lying on the snow. A solid catch.
You got a hare. A very big one. quite enough for all of us to eat.
It wasn't the trap that killed it. The freezing cold did as he lay there, stuck and helpless.
So, the nature has no joke here.
This trap is smaller than the one we set today. I'm curious to see what the next catch will be, but for now...
Regardez comment ils attrapent l'animal. Il n'a même pas besoin de tuer l'animal. Si piège l'animal, si l'animal vient et rentre dans le piège seulement, et puis il ne peut plus bouger, il est mort. S'il ne peut plus bouger seulement, il va être formé.
There will be meat on the fire tonight.
In Oymyakon, there are a lot of hares. During the war, it was actually because of hunting hares that our people survived.
Tamara cooked the hare and prepared a dinner table at her house.
It doesn't have any fat in it. It's a very lean meat.
Some of the upcoming scenes were among the hardest to capture. Thanks to the help of the Ulengovs, the leading YouTube channel on rural Russia, we were able to make it happen. At the first light of morning, we come across something unexpected near the house, a giant snake sculpture. It's entirely made of cow waste, weighing more than 360 kilograms. It was built by a local farmer. The region's sub-zero climate also makes pumping systems inoperable. If water pipes were installed, the water inside would freeze almost instantly. Instead, residents meet their needs, such as washing their hands from water they had previously stored in tanks.
Our sink is old. There's a bucket underneath to catch the water. When it builds up, we just take it outside and dump it.
Once again, the absence of plumbing infrastructure means that houses have no indoor showers or toilets. Instead, these essential facilities are built in the gardens, inside unheated cabins. The lack of a sewage system means that human waste remains where it is accumulated. Since waste freezes instantly upon exposure to the air, it often accumulates into frozen columns, sometimes reaching up to 1 or 2.
Ouais, ça c'est le toilette comme ça, même caca là est formé. Vous voyez les déchets qui sont à l'intérieur. Même les caca là sont formés.
Meters in height before eventually being broken down. When someone has to use the bathroom, they need to put on a lot of clothes, and they must be fast to not get frozen. Using these toilets is never a pleasant.
Même si tu veux partir chier là, tu vas mettre beaucoup d'habits pour sortir, sinon là tu vas être formé.
Experience. But this one is different. It's heated, but the problem with it cannot be ventilated as the cold disrupts the heating system.
Yeah.
This type of toilet is still preferred to be protected from the cold, despite the unpleasant odor that accumulates inside. To bathe, cook, wash dishes, or simply drink, clean water is essential, but getting it is a whole other process that takes a lot of effort. People here collect blocks of river ice and melt them to get fresh water for daily use. Right now you're looking at a vast white blanket of snow, but under, there's a frozen river, the only source of water. He's using a chisel to cut into the thick ice.
You have to work quickly if it's cold. Otherwise you'll freeze.
Même pour avoir l'eau, c'est pas facile. On va parler à des kilomètres avant d'avoir de l'eau pour boire. Et puis c'est pas l'eau de robinet ou bien l'eau des fontaines, non.
As we carve out solid blocks one after another, we lift them and place them onto the sled.
Yeah.
We've loaded as many ice blocks as a sled can carry.
Our ancestors used to transport ice with oxen.
Nikolai, how long is that gonna last?
I have a big family. It'll last us too, maybe 3 weeks.
These huge blocks are kept either in the cold room inside the house or just outside in the backyard.
They put them in a barrel and let them melt, and then they drink it.
The ice blocks we collected together will not only be used in his own home, but also shared with neighbors so they can use the clean water to bathe. In this village, a bathing routine doesn't start with turning on a tap, but with chopping wood. The boy is grabbing a large chunk of ice given by Nikolai, and he's bringing it inside.
Our grandparents take baths for 2 hours. We usually stay for about an hour and a half.
How long does it take for you to complete your bath?
The whole process takes around 4 or 5 hours. We bathe once a week on Saturday or Sunday.
The next step is to turn frozen shampoo into liquid near the stove.
Non, ça m'a dit, si on m'avait mis au monde dans ce village, non, je vais trouver une solution pour quitter. Ah, parce que vivre là-bas même c'est dangereux même. Non, non.
They're rinsing themselves using a ladle. When they finish, they're dressing quickly as they'll step outside from 60 degrees Celsius to minus 54 degrees Celsius, a difference of 114 degrees Celsius. After their weekly bath ritual ends, the next morning begins early. It's 7:30 a.m. and children are waking up to a freezing cold morning. Still.
Ouais, là-bas. C'est pas que non que tu vas laver matin, midi, soir ou bien te laver chaque jour. Non, c'est semaine. Si tu laves aujourd'hui, samedi, c'est pas la semaine prochaine, samedi, tu laves pas. Pour laver même comme ça là, c'est dangereux.
Pitch black outside. Thanks to the simple indoor tank, the kids can wash their faces and brush their teeth in the warmth of the house. But for other needs, the kids still have to use the outdoor toilet. Jana helps her daughters get dressed for school. The children wear many layers of clothing for their commute. Before they leave, Jana wraps a wool shawl tightly around their faces, covering their mouths and noses to protect them from the biting cold. Now, they're ready to go outside. The walk to school is about half a kilometer. Every winter morning, Nikolai walks his daughters. The school remains open in Oymyakon unless temperatures drop below bone-chilling minus 55 degrees Celsius. Below that point, it's too dangerous to go outside. Today, the thermometer reads minus 51 degrees Celsius. As the kids arrive at school, daily life for people like Yvonne is focused on survival and hunting.
Yvonne has got a lot of animals here. He even has a frozen wolf.
He caught this wolf before dawn, about 2 hours ago, in the trap we set together.
It died because of the cold, when it couldn't move.
Où est l'animal? Ça veut dire que si on piège l'animal, on n'a même pas besoin de le tuer. S'il arrête là-bas seulement 30 minutes ou bien 20 minutes, c'est bon, il est mort. Tu t'arrêtes un seul endroit, 20 minutes, tu es mort.
If you don't move in the cold, you die. This is a male one. Ivan will sell the skin of the wolf and take the meat of it and make another trap, put the meat in the trap, and he will hunt a bear.
He's showing us his hunting collection. These are the pelts of the foxes he tracked throughout the winter.
This one is a fully grown bear.
These bears were killed because they kept attacking my livestock. Every year they come onto my land, and each time there are more of them.
The cold in Oymyakon is so extreme, even the most durable vehicles would fail without proper preparation. If a vehicle is left outside for even a few hours without the engine running, it completely freezes and won't start again without a full defrosting process.
How are you planning to unfreeze your car? No.
Ouais, même les voitures. Si laisse ta voiture dehors, par exemple, 1 heure, sans que la voiture là, ça fonctionne toujours, c'est démarré toujours, la voiture là va gâter parce que l'eau qui est dans la voiture ou bien l'huile qui est dans la voiture va être formée. Est-ce que tu comprends? Moi, je ne peux pas vivre ici.
We'll use a jet heater. We're not sure if it'll start.
Every part is frozen solid. Metal, fuel, oil, even the battery. They start by brushing off the heavy snow that's built up on the car.
The tire has turned solid like a rock. It was minus 56 degrees Celsius outside.
The tire's gone flat, not because of a leak, but because cold temperatures cause the air molecules inside to shrink.
They are going to install this to heat the vehicle.
We try to close it tightly so that the warm air does not escape out, but stays inside. take this one. It's too cold outside. Because of this, everything needs to be kept warm. Since the car is diesel, the diesel fuel in the tank completely froze. The car will stay like this for about 3 to 4 hours.
If a local is lucky enough to have a heated garage, they can store their vehicle there for months without risking the engine.
Because of this, everything needs to be kept warm. Or if it'll start.
Every part is frozen solid. Metal, fuel, oil, even the battery. They start by brushing off the heavy snow that's built up on the car.
Ouais, donc si elle dépose voiture dehors, pour que voiture, s'ils veulent déposer voiture là, ils vont premièrement nettoyer la neige, bien on dit la neige ou bien le neige même, sur la voiture. S'ils nettoient ça, on va couvrir maintenant la voiture. On va couvrir tout. Si on couvre tout fini, on amène une machine pour chauffer la voiture parce que l'huile qui est dans la voiture est formée, l'eau est formée, même la batterie, l'acide même. Est-ce que vous voyez? Donc il faut chauffer la voiture, par exemple 2 heures avant que la voiture redevienne normale pour qu'il puisse démarrer la voiture.
The tire has turned solid like a rock. It was minus 56 degrees Celsius outside.
The tire's gone flat, not because of a leak, but because cold temperatures cause the air molecules inside to shrink.
They are going to install this to heat the vehicle.
We try to close it tightly so that the warm air does not escape out, but stays inside. Take this one. It's too cold outside. Because of this, everything needs to be kept warm. Since the car is diesel, the diesel fuel in the tank completely froze. The car will stay like this for about 3 to 4 hours.
If a local is
Ils vont couvrir la voiture comme ça jusqu'à 2 ou bien 4 heures avant de démarrer la voiture.
lucky enough to have a heated garage, they can store their vehicle there for months without risking the engine. As the car was being defrosted, we made our first stop at one of these garages.
The door is very well insulated. There is no open spot in this garage. They use this material. You see the walls, layer upon layer, and there are pipes here to heat the garage.
We heated the car for 3 hours. Now, we're going to try starting it.
The accumulator is installed.
C'est comme si tu veux démarrer une voiture là-bas, il faut que tu cuisines la voiture. Faut cuisiner ça, tu vas préparer ça avec des condiments avant de démarrer, sinon là, c'est pas possible.
And the oil level is checked using the dipstick.
The first time he opens the door.
Yeah!
Great!
This vehicle brought back from death.
Now we'll try to leave the place.
In Oymyakon, survival isn't about conquering nature, but about living in harmony with it. Guided by ancient shamanic wisdom, the Yakut people don't fight the cold, they respect it and endure within its rules.
Look, the temperature does not rise at all.
Here, even the cruelest winters are met not with fear, but with ritual and the unshakable belief that nature gives as much as it takes. This isn't just survival, it's coexistence. Huge thanks to my dear friend Turgut Ekim, who was with me every step of the way during this journey. He also filmed a video in Oymyakon where he accepted an extraordinary invitation from a local family and captured daily life in this freezing village. Also, while filming with Turgut, we jumped into a frozen river at minus 55 degrees Celsius. One of the most extreme experiences of my life. If you want to catch this unseen footage of the journey and get a much closer look at the region's culture and traditions, click here to watch his documentary.
Last but not least, click the link in the description or scan the QR code and don't...
Regardez les frères, sans mentir, tu me donnes 1 million même, tu me dis de partir ici, je pars pas. Non, je pars pas. Je vais pas me tuer là-bas, c'est pas possible. Yo, la famille, c'était votre garçon à Bouzy. On est à la fin de notre vidéo. À la prochaine. N'oublie pas de t'abonner, on est ensemble.